let's get into some of Jennifer's questions with someone I love to talk with about these issues. While parents anticipate a better way forward for their kids, again, is the White House going to try to block it all?
Guidance is very clear, which is that we recommend masking in schools. That is the recommendation from the CDC. As the president said, I think during his press conference just 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, we certainly don't see this moment now as the new normal, right? But we want to get to a point where where COVID is not disrupting our daily lives.
Is any of that based on science? Let's get into it now. In focus, Trey Gowdy, host of Sunday Night in America, Fox News contributor, and former South Carolina congressman. First of all, Trey, welcome to The Focus. And I want to just get your reaction to Jennifer Orr and now this sort of interesting, significant weigh-in by the White House.
Heartbreaking, Harris. I live with a first grade school teacher. She absolutely loves her job. She loves her children, but this has been the most difficult 2 years, and not just for her, but for other first grade teachers. I mean, we used to be able to rely on science. I mean, politics lets us down sometimes, organized religion lets us down, but we used to be able to rely on science. And now to this young mother's point, I mean, at one point we were told you cannot attend a wedding reception in Virginia, but you can attend one maybe in Maryland or maybe the District of Columbia. And as you know, Harris, I mean, sometimes those things are separated by like a street. So how in the world can science be different in Virginia from Maryland, from the District of Columbia? My fear is the greatest casualty of this pandemic will wind up being our ability to rely on science. And we're in a culture where we need something we can rely on, but the politics has trumped the science.
Wow. And you heard that Connecticut mom say that COVID isn't different in Connecticut, but her big question was, and this is what I want to hit you with, the politics of it, Trey. Her big question was why? Why are these predominantly blue states keeping masking on board? And those that are red states that have made it different, this president has gone after. He's targeted. Why aren't you imposing masking for kids in school per the CDC? What's your thought on the politics of it all?
I really don't know, Harris, because I think just like crime, the president is upside down. He is underwater on this issue. So why? Crime's a perfect example. It's a huge issue to 80% of the American people, and yet he won't do anything about it. I don't know if it is this base politics, this constituent-based politics. I mean, look at the teachers' unions. I mean, how long did it take for him to side with the students? When I was in the House, all I ever heard about was how much the Democrats love the children. I never heard, there's a footnote unless the children are in a battle with the teachers' unions, in which case we're going to side with the teachers' unions. Look, Joe Biden knows no more about immunology or infectious disease than I do. I mean, that's not his training. So someone is telling him this is the route to go, and he needs to get rid of that someone.
Ooh, okay. I do want to get into where the president goes, though, with Democrats. Because if he's going to come out against Ron DeSantis of Florida and Greg Abbott of Texas on letting people decide on their own and not mandating masking for them, is he going to go after Democrats now? Senator Rand Paul says Democrats' COVID mandates will only hurt their party. Let's watch this.
The Democrats have really overplayed their hands on the mandates because they're going to lose their populace. They're going to use their public. So I think this is a turning point. I think it's really getting to the point where the science is clear, that the bulk and the vast majority of the masks that people are wearing have no difference, make no difference in the trajectory of the virus.
So we see these Democrats one by one now phasing out their mask mandates for kids in schools. Do we see more of that, and what will Biden do?
It depends on whether or not they're up for re-election. I mean, this for many parents, this is not a political issue. I mean, it is about the well-being of your children. I mean, sometimes in life, Harris, something is necessary but painful. I mean, it's just necessary but painful. And then we have these things where you haven't convinced us of the necessity. I mean, you have failed the burden of proving to us that this is necessary. And then you have the third category where it may be necessary, but what are the collateral consequences? What else are you doing to the children? I mean, Yeah, we don't want kids to get COVID, but we also don't want them to go 2 years without learning, and we don't want them to have social interaction issues, and we don't want them to feel self-conscious about themselves. So it's this balancing of painful things. Is Biden going to criticize Democrats? I mean, he ain't managed to criticize the DA in Los Angeles or New York, so I'm gonna side with no on that one.
Wow. Real quickly, just your reaction to seeing a parent that passionate, and you're passionate too. Do you think most people feel that way, and the White House just doesn't see or hear it?
I do. I think if every parent were like the young woman that you had on, so not spouting misinformation. I mean, she was very measured in the way she presented it. I didn't hear her once like lay claim to a conspiracy theory. I did not even hear her necessarily challenge motives. She is doing what is the most persuasive thing in the world, which is saying this is not good for my child. I don't care about Republican or Democrat. This is not good for my child. And if you do that, then yeah, you're going to be heard by 80-something% of America. Stay away from the, John F. Kennedy Jr. is going to be the vice president. Just stick with the facts.
Yeah, but the White House still doesn't see or hear them. Whew. Trey Gowdy.
They will in November.
Oh, and there it is, that part. Trey Gowdy, thank you for being in focus.